Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the internet, good morning to you. Coach Kyle Evans coming to you, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The G.R.O.W Show, your daily checkup from the neck up. Happy Wednesday. It is 8 a.m. Central Time, the only time that matters. Sorry if you're somewhere else. So it is time to dive in. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking this week about buyers. How do we do better with them? How do we help them? How do we be the economist of choice in a market that is squirrely at best? How do we stand up and be the professional instead of the amateur? Today, we're going to hone in on that buyer topic and specifically talk about builders. How can we leverage the market? How can we show our value helping guide our clients, our customers through the building process, through the landscape of the different neighborhoods, the different options, the different styles, the different incentives that are out there for them right now? My question to you is, do you know more about influencers on TikTok, or do you know more about your local market? Mhm. Where are you spending your time? Where are you spending your focus? Where are you spending your research? Gary Keller, founder of Keller Williams, author of The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, we were in a class or whatever you want to call it. He's talking to us one day, and he was saying, you know, a lot of you guys in this room can tell me more about a sports team or a product or a TV show or a movie or a famous actor or actress. You can tell me more about pop culture than you can tell me about the acre of land down the street and its best use and what it could go for. That stood out to me. It still lives rent free. My question to you is this, ladies and gentlemen. Are you doing the things that you should be doing? Are you studying the market? Are you paying attention? And a big gap for us, or a big opportunity that we can lean into right now, is the landscape of builders. One of the biggest opportunities, in my opinion, in today's market isn't necessarily resale homes, it's new construction. Why? Builders are motivated. Guys, they're offering buy downs, closing cost credits, upgrades, incentives we haven't seen literally in years. But here's the truth. These incentives are not here forever. If you've been an agent in the market for a number of years, you've seen them grow and you've seen them shrink. Some of us have seen them go completely away some years. They shrink the moment that traffic picks up. And with the Fed poised to cut rates soon, that window of incentives could close very fast. Today, I want to lean into that. I want to figure out how we can help buyers see the opportunity with builders right now and how to structure some of these deals that lock in massive value before it's gone. Current data right now shows that 60% of builders nationally are offering incentives. About one third of them are even cutting their prices. Why? Because they're sitting on inventory, because those new builds are getting dusty, because carrying costs are brutal. Just like we do a good job of explaining the cost of carrying a listing to a resale seller, more often than not, the builders are carrying the same cost to hold a listing, to hold their product. A lot of builders out there would rather discount now than carry a home for the next 90 days or 120 days. Your takeaway, if you're an agent in real estate, should be simply that builder incentives are the only part of the market where buyers can capture immediate, measurable financial wins, almost guaranteed. More often than not, a lot of these builders are advertising your guaranteed win. Builders are effectively paying part of our client's mortgage. sometimes for 2 years, 3 years, sometimes buying the rate down for the life of the loan. That's real money that our buyers, that our clients will miss if they wait. Are we slowing down and letting them understand that? Are we walking them through the value or even the opportunity that they may be missing? If you look at it right now, guys, you're seeing 3 year, 2 year, 1 year, 3-2-1 rate buy downs coming from builders. A lot of the national builders, you're seeing absolute buy downs on their rate. Heck, I saw one the other day that had one at like 4.99. I was like, good Lord. You're seeing builders offer things like closing costs. You're seeing them offer things like flooring upgrades, appliance upgrades, landscaping, soft ads, realized financial gains for your clients. If you look at the agent side of the coin, you see builders out there offering right now 3%, 4%, 5%, 6% sometimes commission to a buyer's agent, a buyer's representative. This is like builders writing people checks to live in their homes. But the key is they only do this when traffic is low. Incentives tend to peak in slow demand cycles. The moment rates dip or buying seasons pick back up, builders pull them back. Guys, a couple years ago, we saw builders offering no concessions. We saw them offering no commissions because they didn't have to. Because if you could fog a mirror, you could sell real estate. But now the scarcity principle is in effect. More often than not, incentives from builders are counter-cyclical, meaning they exist when demand is low and they vanish or shrink when demand is high. Where's demand right now in your market? Where's demand right now locally? Incentives are highest when demand is lowest. The minute more buyers show up, which they will, since the Fed is poised to cut rates, the builders will stop negotiating. They will stop giving away the house, which I agree with. Why would they? It is the fundamental laws of supply and demand. But we've got to understand that map. How can we take this and put this into tangible actions that we can do today? Well, number one, we've got to understand the conversation models that we're having. We got to understand the language patterns that we're having. We should be talking to our clients something like this. Hey, Mr. or Mrs. Buyer, right now, builders are covering $7,000 of your first 2 years of payment when you look at the 2-1 buy down. When rates dip and traffic picks up, that's probably going to be gone. Historically speaking, it shows that it's going to shrink or go away. So my question to you, Mr. or Mrs. Buyer, is do you want to grab the discount now? Or do you want to fight in multiple offers later when more buyers have entered the fray? The choice is yours. Are you having that combo? How about the urgency conversation that you can have? Mr. or Mrs. Buyer, the home that you love, right now it's coming with about $15,000 worth of incentives. The one that you love in 6 months, it may come with none. It may actually come with zero incentives and may even be a higher price. Are you slowing down to have that conversation? We've got to do a better job of guiding, assisting, and consulting our consumers on the landscape locally and regionally. So some things, your assignment, if this is striking a chord with you, guys, what I want you to do is go visit 3 or 4 builder communities, builder neighborhoods this week. Maybe it's boutique builders who just have a couple different homes. Doesn't necessarily have to be a community. I want you to document their exact incentives. And then I want you to use those numbers in every buyer strategy session. Every time you sit down with a buyer, heck, even buyers you sat down with previously who haven't made a move one way or another, you should be having this conversation with them. My goal for you, an idea that I offer you this Wednesday morning, is when you go get that data, when you go collect that data, make a spreadsheet, make a graphic. A lot of times, buyers today are visually learning, have something that they can tangibly see and understand the chessboard that's out there. You need to teach them how to shop these builder deals like a pro. We've got to help our buyers see that the incentives vary. And if you are showing up like the professional, you should also understand the products themselves, not just the incentives. The builder's reputation, their quality of work, reviews of their company. I don't want you to just talk about, oh, this one's offering $10,000. Cool. What if they're delivering a terrible product? Well, that's not great advice. It's not being a fiduciary. Anyone can read a flyer. I want you to go do the research and then put it down. Compare across communities. Hey, Mr. or Mrs. Buyer, Builder A, great reputation, 5-star reviews. Currently, right now in Community 1 and Community 2, Builder A is offering $15,000 in closing costs. Builder B, pretty solid reputation. They're offering a 3-2-1 buy down. Builder C, their reviews are mediocre online. But here's the kicker. They're offering $20,000 credit. They're offering also a $10,000 design budget. Lay these out side by side so the buyers can see their options, so they can understand what is available to them and that they can make the best decision for themselves and their families. Hesitation, sitting on the fence, usually comes from lack of information. I want you to inform them. When you're going and doing the research in these builder neighborhoods, when you're talking to the reps or the builders themselves, I want you to target spec homes. What I mean by that is, homes that are already built, homes that are getting dusty. A lot of times, those are the biggest carrying costs for the builder if they're not cash in. Those are the ones that they might be ready to move on or get a little razzle dazzle at the negotiating table because they don't want to carry that sucker anymore. That's usually where the incentives are richest. Hey, go target the ones that are already built. And then the challenging thing here for you, if you're an agent out there, is you need, or even if you're a buyer, you need to ask the right questions. When you're talking to these builders, when you're talking to these companies, I want you to ask, listen, what are your incentives available right now? What is available to the consumer right now? And then you're going to do this thing. It's really wild. Document it. Write it down. Then I want you to ask another question. This is the next level. Do the incentives differ between spec and to be built homes? Are your incentives differing right now between the ones that are built and the ones that are proposed construction? Follow up with a question like this. What's your strongest package if my client writes this week? I have a pre-qualified bona fide buyer. What is your strongest package if they write this week? Let them talk. Don't take things at face value. My desire for you is to go out there, learn and explore and dig deeper. I want you to negotiate beyond the flyer. A lot of times, guys, especially in this market, the flyer, the marketing piece, that's just the starting point. It's not the ceiling. It's just where it gets going. They're hoping that someone signs at that. But if you don't ask, if you don't question, if you don't negotiate, the answer will always be no. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott. I want you to remind the buyers of the window, of the clock, because more often than not, incentives tend to reset quarterly or sometimes even monthly. because builders have their own company to run. They have their own sales goals to hit. You should be explaining to the buyers, listen, this incentive package, it expires at the end of the month. Next quarter, it might be reduced or it could be gone altogether. What would you like to do? I'm your agent. I have your back either way, and yet I would not be doing my job if I didn't present you with the research and the data available. And again, I have your back. I'll do whatever you want. But my goal is to make sure that you're educated, that you're comfortable and confident in this decision that you're going to make for you and your family. That's how you show up like the pro, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you show up like the actual fiduciary. Go out there, do some research this week, do some research this weekend, put together, do the research, put together a whole couple of pages, a whole presentation, and call it your local builder's blueprint. Catchy, right? I don't know what you call it, but put together the research. Then, heck, dude, send it out to every buyer that you have, whether they're a right now buyer or a later buyer. You don't know. They may just be looking for that piece of information to get them off the fence. Another thing that I would do is I would get on social media and I would post that out. Hey, comment here below for my local buyer builder blueprint. Comment down below for your savings map of the area. Send me a DM, give me a call if you want this information that I went and compiled for my closest clients. It's not hard. It's very simple. But it's going to take some effort and it's going to take some intentionality. It's going to take you going out there and doing the research. And then it's going to take you communicating that to your people. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the builder window is wide open, but it won't last. Incentives are literally the market's way of paying buyers to act now. And as soon as demand picks up, more often than not, historically speaking, those payments tend to shrink or disappear. Stop starving to death in a grocery store. Go out and do the research. Go out and be the professional that your buyers expect you to be. And then do the hard part, the actual hard part. Go have the conversation. Go talk to everyone with a pulse. You never know who could be looking to buy, who could be looking to sell, and they're waiting for an educated guide to help them be the hero of this story. Incentives are highest when demand is lowest. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Coach Kyle Evans, a quick hitter on this Wednesday morning, this hump day. I trust this was helpful. And if it wasn't, I trust that it started making you think about some things that you could be applying and you could be doing in your own business. If you want to start small, go visit 3 or 4 communities, 3 or 4 builders this week. Start getting the data. Go to your best friend Canva, make it look pretty, and start putting it in front of your people. Start having the educated conversation. Love you, mean it. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Central Time.